Welcome to the Silverthorne Pulse. I'm Kim Jardim with the Town of Silverthorne. I'm here today with Town Manager Ryan Highland, and we are going to recap the June 26, 2024 work session and Town Council meeting. So let's jump in with work session first. We had High Country Conservation Center join the work session to speak about construction and demolition waste reduction policy that they're considering. So it's in the early stages, correct?
Yeah, they've done some pilot studies on a number of different construction sites in the community, and along with the consultant they'd worked with, we're reporting back on kind of how that process went. Representatives from the scrap were there as well. Aaron Byrne was at the meeting. So just a conversation about how that pilot went. I think some conversations about maybe having more involvement in the future with the Summit County Builders Association. The council had received some feedback from them about really wanting to have more interaction, I think, with this process and conversation prior to any policy. And so that presentation is kind of making the rounds among the different municipalities in the county. I think I had just heard that as well. And I think there's certainly interest. I know that Mayor Sandquist had been very interested in the whole construction waste conversation, but more work to do there. Certainly not, I think, acknowledged by everyone in the room, certainly not ready for a policy today. A lot more questions, and so some more homework. And I think, again, reaching out and working a little bit more closely with the Builders Association moving forward is something that I think Silverthorne will engage in. So more to come there.
Great. And on that sustainability front, our sustainability coordinator, Christy Diagati, was in the room with our consultants who are working on the new strategic plan regarding sustainability. Yeah,
they were reporting on, we had another community workshop at the Recreation Center a couple days prior to the meeting, so they're reporting on that and putting forth to the council a draft set of really the overarching goals for the plan. So council was receptive to all of the goals that have been kind of in the works throughout this process, and so work will continue there. I think the goal is to come back to council with a draft plan, kind of a final draft in August. So working to get that wrapped up.
Excellent. And tell me a little bit about the Housing Helps program. There was some discussion there during work session.
Yeah, had a follow-up conversation to the prior work session. We had a couple council members who were out at the last meeting, so making sure that the full council had an opportunity to talk about Housing Helps. Same topic, county was interested in understanding if Silverthorne would want to participate in a partnership outside of the town boundaries, and council was interested in that, so had the conversation with the full council. And then previously what we have been doing is within the town of Silverthorne, 50-50 match with the county on the Housing Helps. I guess we can just briefly remind folks what Housing Helps is. That is, if you are looking to purchase a home or you are in your existing home and you're willing to deed restrict that so that it is only available for purchase by workforce, you can get a percentage of the value of the home in cash. And so that's usually, I think, 10 to 15% of the value. So we've been partnering with the county within the town of Silverthorne on those deals 50-50, and the county was looking to stretch their 5A dollars further by having us partner outside of our boundary. Council was interested in doing that, and then last night we just talked a little bit more about the detail, and I think where we'll go now is partner within the town of Silverthorne. The town will do 75%, 25% from the county, and then outside of the boundaries, we'll flip that and ask the county to do 75%, and we'll do 25%. So
sure.
I haven't gotten back to the county about that yet, so they may hear it on TV first. I'm kidding. I'll call them. I'll call them this morning. But that was the conversation there. Great partnership, and I think Breckenridge also partners with Summit County on this, and we're hoping that Dillon and Frisco would be interested as well. So I think we were asked first, but hopefully everybody can partner there.
That's great. The housing work continues. It's a big priority.
Yep.
For sure. And in some updates during work session, there's the Shoshone water rights updates. This is Tom Doherty and Carl Hanlon, our town attorney, and Tom, who's our public works director.
Yeah.
They were discussing giving this update, correct?
Yeah, there's an opportunity. It's a really, I don't know, it's probably one of the biggest fundraising efforts I've seen, if you will, for essentially the western slope to buy water rights through the Shoshone power plant that Excel is making available. So I think the county, Breckenridge, Silverthorne are all contemplating being a part of that purchase. So some conversation about what amounts might be appropriate, and more to come there, but a huge effort to try and keep those water rights really on the western slope, I think is what it boils down to. Then we had a couple other things. We talked about the ongoing rec center design, and so that's just kind of a standing item at the work sessions. I think the weight room is something that was a focus in meetings this week, parking as well. So we'll just keep updating the council and the community on where that design is going. A lot of work to do there. And then another thing we're working on, there's a police department facility request for proposal for design services that's out there, and so that went out on June 14th, looking to get responses back by July 11th, and trying to figure out what that facility would look like and where we'll locate it. Got a number of different opportunities, and that's the process we're in right now.
Great. So moving into the regular council meeting, we started off with swearing in of Officer Matt Tarnoff, which was great to see. He was with the department for several years, 15, I think?
15 years, and then a little bit of a hiatus, and was doing a few other things, and now he's back. So we got to have that swearing in and welcome Matt back to Silverthorne.
That's great. Consent calendar item, we had a resolution approving a restrictive covenant for the Element Hotel.
Yeah, the Element Hotel was approved a while ago, and this is just a follow-up relating to some things they needed to do with respect to maintaining a rec path connection that would be there, and then also committing to valet parking because of the layout of the garage. So we've been talking about the Element Hotel for a long time. I think it'd be interesting to see. I think their approvals expire in July, so we'll see if they pull a building permit or not. But Element Hotel was approved. It's basically adjacent to the Hampton Inn, is where that could be.
Excellent. Under public hearings, we had an ordinance approving the annexation of Adams Avenue. This is the connection, correct, between Willowbrook and Smith Ranch?
Right. So folks are seeing a lot of work going on over at Trent Park. Part of that is the road connection that's going through there. So second reading on bringing that piece of property into the town. There was a little kind of area that is encircled by the town of Silverthorne, but it was county property, and so bringing a piece of that into town officially for the roadway.
Excellent. And the ordinance authorizing the recreation center financing, second reading.
Yeah, second reading, no changes there, but that is the certificates of participation, COPs as we call it, which is basically the financing mechanism that we will use to pay for the $29 million rec center expansion. And this isn't the final piece of that financing paperwork that we need to do, but it is a step along the way, and that was approved by the council.
Excellent. In action items, we had some appointments of incumbent planning commissioners, Jenny Glaudemans, Mike Malloy, and our alternate Nancy Iguera.
Yeah, happy to have them interested in serving another term, and so council expressed their gratitude for all the work that the Planning Commission does. Really helps have smooth council meetings when they've got great Planning Commission minutes to read from. So the council commented on that and then made those appointments. Excellent.
There was also an ordinance under action items approving the conveyance of a utility easement to the Public Service Company of Colorado, 401 Blue River Parkway. So, that's the art spot area.
The art spot, yeah. We have
Yes.
just have an easement there for some electrical utilities, and so took care of that. And then we also had the parking garage at 4th Street Crossing. per the original development agreement with the developer, is now or will soon be under the town's ownership. So the business district will still operate that, but that is will soon be a town asset and will take ownership. And that was something that was contemplated years ago as part of the original agreement, that once the warranty period on the improvement expired, the town would take ownership. So town will own the parking garage and it'll be operated by the business district.
Excellent. And there was an executive session as well with a couple of items on there, one related to the Low Ranch.
Yeah, we've got Low Ranch is back, kind of tucked up at the back of the Willowbrook neighborhood, and an opportunity for a open space purchase in that area, and so some conversation there. And then also continued conversation about a request from the Blue River Valley neighborhood for an emergency water interconnect. So some negotiations that are ongoing there, and so we had some continued conversation, and that was that.
And we are in the midst of our summer here in Summit County. We have a lot of events coming up next week with the 4th of July holiday coming in. So we've got the National Repertory Orchestra on the 4th in Rainbow Park.
Tents are already up there, and so we'll have the NRO, and then we've got a First Friday with Blitz and Trapper playing. And then I think we're also partnering with Breck Create on an art float that'll be in both of the parades in Breck and Frisco. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Great. Well, that is all from us for this time. We will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.